I was on a cliff and I just fall down, and it's like as if someone pushed me, but it was a nice push. It wasn't like an aggressive push, if I can say that. And I fall, and then somehow I just go out of my body and I see my body on the floor, and then my family start gathering, and then they take me, and there was a hole already digged, and they put me in the hole to bury me, and my mom is crying, my family is around crying, and I was just like, I am here, can you see me? And no one could see me. And then I just wake up. So it was the first night, and then the next 2 nights I had this exact same dream with the same details. So then I started asking myself what it is about, and I started looking the internet, like what does death mean in dreams, and then by looking and looking and looking, I come across hadith and videos about the end times. And then so there was like so many things about the end time, the signs, the wars, the sickness, and I found that a sheikh who was Algerian as well, who gives khutbah about the Mahdi, because it was one of the signs of the end times. And I started listening to him, and he was saying the Mahdi will come and he will free everybody, but before that there is all the signs. And I was listening to him a lot, like the whole day, and I started being afraid. I was like, okay, now if we are in end time, I'm gonna die. How am I gonna die? And I'm not with God. So then I changed my whole life. I left my friends, I left the music, and instead of listening to music, I was listening to Quran the whole day. I took my guitar, I just put it in the wardrobe, and each time I would think about it, I would just ask for forgiveness, and it was like, I was like, God, 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 God. And I decided also to wear hijab, because they said if you don't wear hijab, you can check all the boxes, but if you don't have hijab, then it's hellfire. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to check all the boxes as much as I can. And then it was beginning of 2014, so it took me many months to reach all this. And then, so I was still listening to the sheikh talking about the Mahdi and the end time, and at the same time my uncle comes, Rudwan, and he tells me, sit down, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, what is it about? He said, you know, the Mahdi is here. I was like, what? So for me, this whole thing was just scary and amazing at the same time, because I just felt that God tried to prepare me. So he brought me back from the world I was in to focus on God, because God had a message for me and I needed to be ready to hear it and listen to it. And then so I sat down, and he's like, Ahmed al-Hassan is a messenger and Imam Mahdi is here, and he sent him to tell us, be prepared, he's gonna come out. And I heard about the will of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and for me it's like, I'm like, yes, it makes so much sense. I mean, if we follow Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if we take from him the Quran, we are supposed to take from him the will, we are supposed to take from him anything that he says, and not like just take from him and then disregard him for the rest. And by the end of 2014, I had so many dreams, so many signs, and one of them was that made me just pledge allegiance. I asked God, and I was like, God, please just give me a last sign. I want just a dream that just will make me jump. So I asked, and I went to sleep, and then that night I had a dream that I was in my house with my grandparent, and I just hear a lot of noise around, and I wake up. I was sleeping, I wake up, and I just open the door, and I see my uncle and his wife and kids like packing up, and I'm like, where are you going, what's happening? And he's like, the Mahdi is here, he is here, Ahmed is here, the Mahdi is here, we have to go. And I was so confused. I was like, what am I supposed to do now? Should I go? Should I stay? And then my grandma comes out of her room, and she's like, you guys, you're so crazy. Why are you doing this? And I look at her, I think it was just those words that opened my heart. I'm like, actually, you know what? You are the crazy people. The Mahdi is here. God is calling us. We have to go. And I was like, and I'm going. So I started packing up my stuff and I ran down the stairs. I opened the door and I saw a silhouette of light. And for me, it was the Mahdi. And a lot of people behind him, like an arrow shape. And then he told me, let's go, my daughter, it's time to go. And I just ran to him and I woke up, and that day I decided to pledge allegiance. And that was the end of 2014. And since then, for me, it was just a beginning of a beautiful and wonderful journey.